The U.S. government is facing a possible shutdown next month. This follows the clash between the Democrats and Republicans over the country's national budget for the next fiscal year. Frederico Velloso will tell us more about this live. Fred?
Yes, Mikey, the U.S. national debt reaching $33 trillion. The government is in danger of shutting down in October as the Congress is in a deadlock over funding. An analyst said that this potential shutdown will be a slow-motion train wreck for the said country.
As Democrats and Republicans battle over the federal budget for the new fiscal year, the U.S. is on the verge of another damaging federal government shutdown, which would see all non-essential operations suspended, aside from departments that the U.S. government deems essential, such as the military, border defense, and public security. Inar Tangen, an independent political and economic affairs commentator, who is also the senior fellow at the Taipei Institute, a Beijing-based think tank, said the U.S. is lurching from one crisis to the next, noting that have been a total of 14 shutdowns since 1981. He said that relatively small number of members of the Republican Freedom Caucus are staging a political hijacking in a bid to push through their own agenda. Tangen also warned that ordinary citizens will end up paying the price.
It's just going from one crisis to the next. I mean, 14 since 1981. This is supposed to be a country that is a flagship for democracy and capitalism, yet it can't seem to get its house in order. In essence, what you have right now is the Republican Freedom Caucus. It's about 40 people, and they want to, as they say, wag the dog. And that's 40 out of 435 members of the House of Representatives. So this is a political hijacking to get their fiscal and social policies through, even though they're a minority. It's going to be a slow-motion train wreck that's going to hurt the people at the bottom. Ironically, Congress will receive paychecks while others suffer.
Tangen said many politicians in the U.S. seem overly obsessed with military spending, which comes at the expense of addressing key issues which affect the domestic population, including poverty.
At the heart of this, the United States has become, in essence, a Ponzi scheme. It borrows money to pay the interest on money it has already borrowed and has no plan whatsoever to pay it back as a whole. And at this time, the only thing that's exempt is the military, so you're in essence feeding the military while starving the people. This is, it's not the end. Even if they got this continuation in November, there would be even a harder struggle as they try to pass a budget. There'd probably be another continuation. It's too polarized to do anything. I don't think that either side is willing to give in, especially during an election year. McCarthy, as pointed out, has a very difficult situation. He can try to get something passed that's reasonable. If he does so, though, the Freedom Caucus may well take his head, and he will become a casualty.
A total of 8 shutdowns occurred during the administration of Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States. Since then, the government managed to avoid any funding debates until 2013. However, the threat of shutdowns has become more frequent and longer over the past 10 years. In September 2013, the U.S. government closed for more than 2 weeks as the Republican-led House sought to delay then-President Barack Obama's health care law, known as Obamacare. The latest and also longest shutdown happened in December 2018, stretching for over a month amid a dispute over then-President Donald Trump's demand for $5.7 billion to pay for a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
Mike, in the latest update, the Democratic-led U.S. Senate forged with a bipartisan stop-gathering funding bill to avert the looming shutdown. Meanwhile, the House started voting on partisan Republican spending bills. These two chambers are taking two different paths that increase the odds that U.S. federal agencies will run out of money this Sunday. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much. That's Frederico Velloso live on SMNI Studios.